So if you're not a fan of the words, peak fiction.
Probably been like a week since I've uploaded, but I mean, at the time we're recording this, I uploaded it like yesterday. But by the time this video is up, it would have been a week. We did a review of the Monster on my channel, which is by the author Naoki Urasawa, and today we're talking about his new project. Not really, it's not new, but the adaptation
is not new. It is an inspiration from something.
The GOAT, perhaps even the legend.
So I highly recommend
Disney himself.
I highly recommend you go look at that Monster review first, because I'm proud of it. I think it's my favorite Peak Fiction Time episode we've done. And we'll see how this one goes, because it's already a fucking disaster. But Naoki Urasawa, he's a big mangaka. He's big in the seinen crowd. He makes psychological manga. And he
yes,
really
very famous in the 2000s. So
he
really so likes, like the Monster adaptation was like, how long ago is that? That was released. That was
probably in like 2004.
3 years,
so
years
like
ago
almost 2 decades later, and then another of his series gets an adaptation, and this time it's Pluto.
Yeah,
it is not as long. It is much shorter.
Yeah, I mean, the guy's reputation definitely precedes him. Like, we talked at length about Monster was just a masterpiece. And so it'll be interesting to talk about how, like, this one holds up to the kind of reputation he's set for himself.
Well,
I don't know if we're going to be able to talk about it. Sorry. I don't know if we're going to be able to talk about it fully, because it's kind of weird to talk about Pluto. I don't know.
Yeah,
it's many different plots strung together, and you'll see obviously different main characters as well as the series goes on.
It's one of those things where it's like you're not in the moment, you're gonna be kind of confused, and then once it's done, you're like, oh, okay, all right, it all makes sense.
I mean, Monster was kind of like that too, to an extent, but it was also much longer.
I was still able to follow along with Monster a lot more clearly than I was with this one. So it's kind of embarrassing to admit. When I was a kid, I watched the shitty like Western Astro Boy movie with Nicolas Cage, where he voices Dr. Tenma. And
what?
I got, as we were watching it, me and Salt were watching this together. I multiple times kept comparing this to. I was like, this reminds me a lot of Astro Boy, but it didn't click until Dr. Tenma showed up, and then I just kind of realized, oh, I've been duped. This is just Astro Boy.
Yeah, we got gaslit into being Astro Boy fans. Okay, I think I should have picked it up when the dang, I completely forgot his name. Oh my god, I forgot his name.
Who?
Who?
One of the 7 robots. Dang it, Adam.
One of them?
Yeah.
Adam.
I don't know. I immediately said, "Hey, this kind of looks like the kid from Astro Boy," and it is.
Lol.
So originally he adapted it from a very famous arc of Astro Boy, like the manga. So it's like the world's greatest robot or whatever, and it's basically the same plot. You have the big horned black robot was created as like some commission piece by some goofy guy to like destroy all the robots, and it's very different, the plot, but it's also, you see almost all the same kind of beats, especially like the sister of Adam like drawing with big bad robot and like forming a connection, and that saves the day at the very end. Little stuff like that, and the very ending as well, where it's just everyone's destroyed, and they have like, what is the meaning of war, that kind of thing. So there's a lot of like similar things. It's very, very different though. I think it's pretty fun. Some people like the Pluto version better. I mean, the original Astro Boy version better. But it's really funny to see Pluto as like official fan fiction, basically, which is very interesting.
It's pretty much the best version of fan fiction possible.
Yeah, it's like Tezuka's name is on the cover, like as credited, so you know.
If I made a piece of fiction, I would want Naoki Urasawa to make fan fiction of it.
Yeah.
I'm so happy that one of us like actually knows something about Astro Boy.
I kind of only read that because someone linked it, so I just like read the whole thing.
I wasn't even paying attention that Dr. Tem was like apparently the doctor from Astro Boy. I was more focused on the fact that he had the same name from the guy from Monster.
That's actually what I thought at first. I was like, "Oh, yo, it's Tenma. He based it off Tenma." Then I was like, "Oh, wait, that was actually the guy's name in the original."
It doesn't help that Dr. Raikkonen shows up, and he has
Oh
the same
my God,
fucking
I was
voice
just-
actor. And there was also a twink with long hair.
Oh, yes.
who kind of looked like
I love
Johan,
him.
and had
Yeah,
the Johan
Epsilon
voice actor
really
in the dub.
looks like-
And Johan also cross-dresses in Monster, which is very funny. So I'll
Is
talk
this
about,
an AU of Monster?
No,
you
no.
think?
So Tezuka, I mean, not Tezuka. Urasawa is like a star system, so he'll almost like carry the same kind of faces and kind of things, but give them like different roles each story. Just like some authors like to do that. It's kind of funny. I think Tezuka did the same thing. So he did this. So even in Urasawa's other series, like 20th Century Boys, which is his longest one, it's like 20 volumes or something. It's something crazy. That one is the same kind of thing. People used to recommend Pluto actually as like an introduction to Urasawa because it was shorter. It was like it's a little more to the point, but it also has the same kind of storytelling trends as he wrote in Monster as well, or 20th Century Boy. It's almost like a Russian doll. It's a very simple premise on the outside, and then it keeps unveiling like, oh, here's a new main character we'll focus on for like an episode or two. Here's a new little mystery inside. Yeah. But then at the very end of it, it's really it's still kind of simple at the very, very end. It's just like a sort of you can kind of summarize it really simply if you want to, but then everything happens in between is very there's a lot more complex.
The dialogue especially reminded me a lot of Monster.
Yeah, he always writes the same kind of way.
Yeah, I mean, he's very good at dialogue and very good at making characters like easy to get attached to. Like the first episode, honestly, for me, it's like I think the whole thing is absolutely amazing, but the first episode is my favorite episode in the whole.
The piano, yeah.
Oh, you're thinking about
he's very good at that kind of
North number 2 and all.
Yeah.
He's very good at that kind of like emotional writing. It's kind of like, it's something you'd see in like a drama TV show sometimes. It's like they're very like, it's very good at delivering the meat.
In the Monster, it was so funny because when we didn't recognize Astro Boy, we were like, "This is the most unique thing I've ever like. There is nothing like this I've seen." And
then you realize it's a freaking Astro Boy fanfic.
But I remember in the Monster review that we did, like I just listened to it again before I put it back up on my channel. And I distinctly remember a part where I compared his writing style to the likes of The Sopranos and Breaking Bad and The Wire. And that's what it feels.
I was gonna say the Prestige TV. It's very Prestige TV almost.
Yeah, very like it feels Western in a lot of ways. I think he likes a lot of those types of shows.
And you see the character models, the kind of settings he sometimes has. A lot of European. This is almost all European kind of settings.
Yeah, this mostly took place in like the Switzerland and then Germany, I guess.
And the United States of not America.
Yeah. So we should talk about the plot a little bit now. So
Trump is in this. Trump is in this.
Okay, so the plot of the series is some robot serial killer is going around killing all the biggest, baddest robots everywhere. And our main hero, detective, is trying to track down the killer. So it's a very basic murder mystery kind of story.
Yeah.
And then it gets into global politics, of course.
I think we should probably discuss the 7 robots first. And what they're all about.
We can start like the main character, like the most main of them, which is Gzicht and Adam.
Yeah.
Yes. Gzicht is a grizzled old detective. Not old, but it's the kind of serious detective guy. He's super strong and has a gun arm. And again, it's funny. All these characters were in the original Astro Boy too, but they're very different. And Astro and Pluto, Adam is of course a little superhero boy kind of thing. Sorry, everyone, all society, loves him and everything. But he's he's actually a super computer, not just a super robot.
Then there's Mont Blanc. Is that how you pronounce it?
Yeah, it was just the intro. He's kind of like the perfect. Oh, he's such a super guy, and then he dies right away. So
yeah, but it's more like the setup for the plot.
It's the setup. He's supposed to be like, I can't believe he died. Like Martin Luther King or something.
I guess if I could kind of rewind to the premise. So basically this series, we mentioned it was based on Astro Boy. So it's about basically human society where robots have advanced and they have human rights now, sort of. And so,
yeah, and they really can't. Yeah, but like one thing, I think this is the one right that they don't. Well, it's not really a right, but they can't kill people like real human beings.
They categorically, robots cannot kill people except for this one guy who did it anyway. And so the premise is, yeah, somebody is going around killing the 7 strongest robots. And also they're killing like all kinds of like civil rights activists for robots, basically.
Yeah.
Well, there's a whole bunch of different groups because it's basically the Iraq War. It's made in the mid 2000s. It's definitely Iraq War commentary explicitly. And it's kind of relevant right today, right when it released. It's relevant for something else happening.
It is.
And it's also very relevant for the AI trend
AI
too.
things, yes. It's funny. It's funny that a 20-year-old series is still very relevant today. So they definitely chose a very good time to work on it. I know this has been in the development for like, I don't know, 5 years, even longer. It's been in development like hell for so long. So it's actually relieving to finally see it.
Yeah, I actually did a little research before we started, and so the guy who's producing this, he was like the founder of Mappa and Madhouse, and he basically said he's always wanted to do a Pluto adaptation. Like this was his dream.
Yeah,
and that's kind of wholesome. 100,
Yeah.
We're kind of all over the place already, but it's cool.
Urasa was like very respected, just like I see like other mangaka like on Twitter, like Ishiguro or something says, oh, like they just praise Urasawa as like a modern kind of master or whatever. I don't think he's done anything recently, but he's kind of he's done a lot already. So
he's still doing Asadora, which he started in 2018.
Really?
So
never heard of it.
That's great.
It's
It'll be nice to see
it's
it.
like 8 volumes in. I don't know if it'll get adapted.
What the heck?
A lot of his work doesn't get adapted. Like,
yeah, it's really weird because he could be so it's like prestige TV. It could be really successful in the West. It could be really popular, but almost none of his stuff really gets adapted. There was a 20th Century Boy trilogy of real live action movies, which nobody watched and it's never brought over, obviously. And I was like, it's never got an anime. It's his biggest work. It's like biggest by a long shot. 20th Century Boys. It's like a sci-fi. Insane sci-fi sort of thing, post-apocalyptic or whatever. But so much of the stuff doesn't get adapted. So it's actually revealing Pluto is like the first time people are even hearing about Urasawa, mostly because nobody watches Monster anymore. So it's kind of like
Monster's a lot like harder to find than
it's
Pluto
harder to
was
find
released
now.
on Netflix. It got a lot of publicity.
Hold on. Monster got put on Netflix before Pluto. It's gotten some traction since it's been put on Netflix.
A little
have
bit.
An English dub.
Yeah, probably a thing.
But anyway, so pretty much this series is really episodic. It's 8 episodes, each are an hour long, and for the first few, kind of each episode focuses on a different member of those 7 strongest robots and how they're about to get Minecrafted.
Yeah, they both got in these fights. So one thing I will criticize about the series a bit is sometimes the compositing and effects are not great. It's not an action-driven series, thankfully, but it's probably a good thing they didn't have too much action scenes. But some of the shots looked a little
visual
cheap.
The style is fucking weird. It was. I remember feeling just like it was really jarring.
Sometimes, the tornado effect, for instance, and sometimes just the color grading was a little too bright. Stuff like I guess that's Netflix wanting brighter shows all the time, but
Yeah, I think it got better as the show went on, but there was some very noticeable CGI. It really took me out of the experience. That's just CGI.
The characters look fine, stuff like that. Like the actual and 99% of it is this character dialogue, talking stuff, and their direction on their big faces and big,
that's more Urasawa's style anyway. I know Astro Boy is kind of a shonen, But Urasawa's take on it is a lot more murder mystery. It's a lot of like don't show, don't tell.
I mean, it's kind of
that's
smart.
what he's really good at.
It's kind of smart that he like literally made the fights happen where you can't see it inside a tornado, because he probably was like, I don't want to draw the robots fight. I can't do that. Like, so it's probably clever for him to have to do that. So you know, it's, and again, it's not like an action show, but there is a lot of like, it's a thriller sort of thing. Even like, I love the finally finding out what those memories were of that janitor or whatever, saying, hey, you know, $500 sort of thing.
Yeah,
little flashbacks like that.
What do you say?
Stuff like that. Or like even dealing with basically like that neo-Nazi or whatever that was actually like, you know, just called Adolf or something. It's very funny. And like, again, he's always trying to humanize them, even as they're supposed to be definitely very... I'm worried, like, there's been so much media like this lately. Like, I don't know, you can look at, what, Detroit Becoming Human or whatever that game was, or all these. There's so much AI, robot, cyborg stuff in the past 20 years. I wonder if people watch this and think it's, like, passé by now or something. Or it's like, oh, I've already seen this in, you know, some video game anyway.
That is something I kind of wanted to talk about. Was I've never been a huge fan of the trope of robots as a civil rights allegory. I feel like it always like ends up being kind of awkward and uncomfortable, but I do like Naoki Urasawa's take on it. He does a lot of like exploring of like what the experience of being a robot is like and how it's different from being human, but they also have like a lot in common. And it kind of gets into some weird kind of metaphysical territory. You know, what does it mean to live when like your consciousness is like data that can be copied and deleted and moved?
Well, I guess the two big things are emotions and identity. So one thing is that, like, you see, I think Tenma say, it's like, well, you know, if you copy the emotion enough, if you try hard enough, you'll begin to feel it for real. Which some
finally,
human
the first
beings,
Pluto glyph.
some human beings need to do too. Like, how do I learn how to cry at, you know, funerals or something? It's like, well, you know, if you do it enough, you'll eventually start to feel it for real. Let's sort of pretend it until you fake it till you make it, sort of thing. There's also. It's probably relating to some people in the audience who are, you know, maybe a little more neurodivergent. There's also the whole thing of identity. So I really like the whole thing of like 9 billion personalities. We put 9 billion personalities in this robot, and now he has to decide which one he wants to be. So he's not going to wake up now. I thought that was really funny. It's almost like that paralysis of like choice. It's like, who do I be? Who do I be in the real world? What do I want to be? It's like you realize you just can't do anything after if you have too many choices. So that's like, I thought, two little parallels to human like sort of society that he tried to do with the robots, at least.
Actually, you want to know what like is one really weird thing that I found during the show? So like sometimes people will just be able to tell that somebody is a robot or not. Or
that
like
was weird. Okay, I want to talk about that too. Yeah, that was weird.
Yeah, that was weird. How do you, like, there's very obvious robots. There's like very obvious like mechanical robots that don't have human faces, but then there's like people like Kazik and that actually have like, is it like animate? Is it like holographic skin?
It's
or
like
is
gaydar. It's like gaydar.
Okay.
It might actually be okay because I had. Oh, wait, I'll let you talk, sorry.
So yeah, when I was watching the first episode, I didn't know that Kazik was a robot. That kind of like took
how
me
did you
by
not
surprise.
know? What?
Well, I didn't think. Well, yeah, I didn't like for the first like 5 minutes.
Okay, motherfucker. He literally he pulls a gun out of it. He turns his hand into a gun. Well, that's the point that I like understood, but that like happens like 20 minutes in or something. Okay, you silly little. That's not an excuse.
Anyway, so the first episode is when we find out that Mont Blanc is the first victim, and so we learn about this guy who's gone around killing people and robots, and their kind of hallmark, very serial killer fashion, is they make the victims have like horns. They make them out of like sticks or pieces of like plywood or something, whatever it is. They make them wear horns.
Yeah, it's just like Pluto's version of the zodiac signs.
But the first victim that we actually like get to see in action is North Number 2, and I think Gabathy really wanted to talk about this first episode,
Yeah,
and I do too because it's very good.
That whole stretch with North Number 2, like like initially with Gazikt, I was like, okay, this is fine, but it's not really like, you know, grabbing me, because I mean, obviously jumping off of Monster and then watching this, like you're gonna have high expectations. But that whole stretch with North Number 2, that it was just absolutely brilliant. Everything about it was really emotional, and I think part of what makes it work is that it's like humanizing a robot through a human being. This guy who's blind and who has lived a
very
tragic
flawed
life.
human being.
He's a composer. He makes music for, I think, like,
he's also an asshole.
Yeah, he's a
I
massive dick.
I think Urasawa actually played the piano there too. He does music stuff too a little bit.
Yeah.
Wow.
So, he's just a massive prick, and he's like a really grumpy old man. He gets sent North Number 2 to be, I guess, his caretaker, and North Number 2 finds a fascination in music because he can't quite understand it, and he would like to. He would like to learn how to play, and he's like, you can't play music, you don't have a soul. And he's so angry. And part of why he's so bitter is because when he was a young child, he believes that he was abandoned by his mother. And kind of the twist in this episode that North Number 2 eventually figures out, which, by the way, North Number 2 was a combat robot. He's got a lot of blood on his hands, or I guess oil on his hands.
Yeah, he's also trying to, like, humanize himself because he was basically nothing but a killing machine. Yeah, so he just wants to, like, learn a basic human hobby. Like, well, it's not really basic, just playing the piano is pretty hard.
But, yeah, so this whole time he's just trying to help out, and he wants to learn the piano. And the music guy, he is mean.
His name's Duncan.
So mean.
Flaming the fuck out. But the twist of this episode is that North Number 2, I mean, he really cares for this old man for some reason, and he eventually finds out that the guy's mom actually never abandoned him. She was just really silent and didn't make her presence known, but she still took care of him through all of that. And it's a very tragic, like, he breaks down crying at learning this information, because I mean that's a very conflicting thing, and it's very
yeah.
And then North
it's
Number
very
2 dies.
It's very tender, like watching him kind of win over this guy. I think that there's one line that I really loved, where I think Duncan says something like, "Well, you don't need to learn the piano. You're just meant to be a killing machine." And North Number 2 is like, "That's why I want to learn the piano. I don't want to be a killing machine." And it's kind of sad and it's tender.
Yeah.
It's the kind of writing that Naoki Urasawa is really good at.
Yeah, he's good at making you care about just, you know, because he's very good at humanizing his characters, and it seems like and I think this puts on display that he's good at humanizing robots too. So he plays off of it really well, and from that point forward, I don't think any of the other, as good as the rest of the series is, I don't think any of it ever quite reaches that level until they implement Dr. Tenma. He was my second favorite character in the whole thing.
Who is voiced by Keith motherfucking David.
Yeah.
Who's that?
He's the voice of Spawn. He's in what else was he in?
He's also that one guy from Princess and the Frog, Arbiter from Halo.
Oh, yeah,
okay, so an actual voice actor?
Yeah, like
yeah.
An actual
he is a very
actor.
he's been around for a very long. He's mostly like does Western properties, you know that. But like I think this is the first time that we've seen him done anime.
I think they did that for a few voice actors.
Can I just say this guy?
I watched it in Japanese, so.
Can I just say this guy has the most banging character design that Naoki Urasawa has ever drawn.
Very
like,
Genda with a fro.
Well,
oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Oh,
He's
speaking of voice actors, ProZD is also in this.
Yeah, he
voices
he voices that fucked up robot with the sword in his chest.
Bro.
It was a spear.
I loved his performance as Brow 1589.
You feel like a fucking sodium. Sorry.
So, as we kind of mentioned, so the thing about robots in this series is they're supposed to not be able to kill a human. But the exception to that is Brow 1589. And he's sort of he's a freaky deaky dude. And so
he's sort of like
he
Hannibal. Think of Hannibal in Silence of the Lambs. So he's supposed to be the kind of guy who the main character goes, just like another murder mystery kind of thing. The main character goes like, "Oh, can you tell me about the secrets of the robot heart?" That sort of thing. It's like, "Oh, ha ha ha! I will tell you everything if you just, sort of, that kind of trickster kind of character."
Yeah, he's kind of represents how, like, as the series progresses, like the line between human and robot gets kind of like thinner and thinner, and Brow 1589 is kind of an example of that. So he tells Gazik, they looked for a flaw, for a glitch in my code. They looked all over and they didn't find anything. There was nothing wrong.
Right. The idea is, if with enough artificial intelligence and like freedom, then you can get like a human being basically, and also negative emotions. That's like the whole thing. I think it could have gone further, and maybe there was like, oh, we should input like good emotions versus evil emotions or whatever. But whatever. It's a short series.
Honestly, like, there's so many moving parts that it's impressive it was able to kind of tie them all up in the 8 episodes that
Urasawa does like a lot of vignettes where it's like, okay, we're gonna focus on this one little side character for like half an episode sort of thing. And sometimes they're really, really good, like the first episode, but then sometimes it gets sort of lost in this really more complicated plot of like double agents and like secret identities and like, is this guy a robot? No, he's a robot the whole time.
There was a lot of other elements that I honestly
politics
still curious about. Like, there was that guy, I think he was like a guy that looked like he was from the Middle East.
So the world building in this series, and I don't think this was an Astro Boy, but it's very clearly based on like Bush and Iraq.
Yeah. No, it's 100%. Yeah, 100%.
It's weird because like, doesn't this take place in Persia or like Iran?
Persia
it's
Iran.
Based on Persia.
That is Iran.
It's like close
Persia,
enough,
Persia's, it's the same thing. So this was like, Urasawa was always done social commentary, political social commentary stuff. Like, he literally had Hitler as a character in Billy Bat and whatever, and like a bunch of political stuff, history stuff. Yeah, it's not. This is 100%. Not even
I remember seeing that panel of let me find it. The panel
Einstein, I think, talking to him, right?
Just having a chat.
So this is part of the course for him. It's not like a secret illusion or something. Like, it's supposed to be direct, explicit commentary on the Iraq War. And then obviously, like, Saddam Hussein, who's not Saddam Hussein, is taking revenge. So it's all about that, And then there's a bunch of different characters. I like the dad character, the guy who just has like a nice family, the robot dad. That was cute. Like that little look on the side. And I also I like what was his name? Epsilon? Epsilon was great. Epsilon was like the second main character.
Yeah.
Johan. Actually, I want to point this out. So I think Epsilon was 100% like he's supposed to be just like an optimistic version of Johan.
I guess so.
But like, because like usually what was that bit that Johan did where like didn't he take care of an orphanage at one point in Monster?
I mean, he did like help like take care of like some kids. Yeah,
and
like as a volunteer.
And here's the Johan character doing that again.
It's very funny.
Also, he has like the exact like hair of like Johan's sister, and he has Johan's face, and it's really.
And he has Johan's voice actor.
Yeah. I like that. I said gaydar before, but I really like that little detail where the government said, if the public finds out, you're a robot is taking care of children, you know what they're gonna say, right? Which is very like homosexual rights sort of thing. And he's even portrayed as, of course, extremely feminine. He talks like that whole birthday party scene was so cute. So it's very funny to see him like be like the main character after.
Yeah. So he gets like kind of criticized by the other characters for being a pacifist.
Yes.
But like the
like killing people, pussy.
The theme here clearly is violence bad. That's
even though like one of his main abilities is that he blew up a city. He blew up an entire city.
Well, it was abandoned city, so it was just about erasing the scraps of war. But that's the whole point. Like, you have to make the most powerful character a pacifist to really sell the idea of pacifism, right? And then I like that little rescued PTSD kid. That was cute. And then that was like a whole like right before the third act, which is then again Pluto again, you know, coming in to save the day. People might not like the disjointed kind of feeling of the plot sometimes, because it just kind of rolls along, like with different sort of plot points going from thing to thing. But then by the very end, it just, you know, focuses on the main story again.
Yeah, it's got a pretty like convoluted plot. Like there's like the ultimate robot, and then there's Bora, and then there's all these like secret guys being revealed, and so that. I don't think I like completely followed it, and I think I want to rewatch it.
It goes over, yeah. It like kind of washes over your head sometimes. There are some things like I wish, well, they maybe worked a little harder on, but again, this was in under development hell for like a long time. So they probably were like, if we work on this anymore, we'll just be losing money and we won't be able to release it. So Netflix it out. All right, get it over with. And I think they did a good job. I think people appreciate it. I'm seeing like Pluto fan art for the first time, that sort of thing. So it's been pretty nice.
I'm not
Pluto
able to find Pluto.
That's not even Pluto.
It's relevant.
Okay, I don't think. Okay, what's some other
The killer was Moby.
The
killer was Moby the whole time.
I guess something I wanted to talk about was the main character, Kazik. I think he's good. So kind of his whole arc is realizing that he is capable, even though he's a robot, he is capable of hatred, and there's this other. So he's also another robot who killed someone, but he had his memories erased by the government to cover it up. And so there's this sub arc where the guy who he killed, the guy's brother, is like a huge like racist against robots.
Oh yeah,
his name.
Please talk about that bit. Okay, so there's this racist character technically named Adolf, and it's kind of it was a little bit on the nose because his name was Adolf. But then once they get to this church, they're like wearing KKK outfits. And they're like doing the no Mustang salute. It was so on the nose. Racism bad, but that was so on the nose.
It was very, very like out of pocket, in my opinion. They could have been. It's so funny because most of his writing style is subtle, but that one in particular, I don't know what he was cooking there.
He's really funny.
I don't think Urasawa's too subtle. He's he's very good at like selling the sort of big kind of drama and character expressions. He's really, really good at character expressions because he literally like just have a mirror at his desk and do it himself and like trace his face when he needs to do a face. That's really good.
Sure.
Yeah.
His main thing is like really big expression in these kind of like serious kind of stories. So dour faces and serious expression.
Now we wait for Naoki Urasawa to write his own fan fiction over another classic anime.
Pluto.
Dragon Ball.
Urusei Yatsura. A Naoki Urasawa Dragon Ball would be insane.
Like him as like an abusive.
It wouldn't be as action focused, but technically a Naoki Urasawa like style anime for Dragon Ball would be probably more like Journey to the West, maybe.
Yeah, Dragon Ball's already a parody, so.
Yeah. Most popular anime ever, and it's a parody.
Bro watched Superman and was like, shit, I could do that.
Can we please talk about like Kazik's child?
Oh yeah, I mentioned
that was
it a
really
little bit.
good, like kind of.
Yeah. Okay. No. Can I please end it, please?
Yeah, go for it.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah,
So
go.
technically, Kazik is like, I don't know, like what he was doing. I think he was like investigating during like this trash heap or something, and then he finds like a robot that's barely alive that I believe is a kid. Shut, Gabe. I hate you. And like a kid robot, and then this garbage place owner, the dump owner, like he says, oh look, if you'll pay me and I'll let you have it, okay? And then Kazik takes it home and lets his wife, and then his wife takes care of it. Him and his wife like treat it like their own child, basically. But then later on, the racist character's brother, it turns out that he was a serial child robot killer, and so he kills Kazik's daughter, the robot daughter, and that is the one thing that made Kazik just, you know what, fuck you, I'm killing people.
Yeah, and I remember when that twist happened, because Kazik himself didn't even remember, and then he finds out about it. I remember when that twist happened, both me and Salt were just dead silent. We were just like, holy fuck.
Okay, somebody explain Hassan.
Well, in the original, actually, you got to see Pluto a lot more. He basically explains, I was programmed only to fight. I can't even control myself, I just have to do what I gotta do, that sort of thing. And it just keeps on fighting all the robots. And only at the very end does he, I think he destroys himself, so he doesn't keep destroying others.
That last bit was a little bit too predictable, honestly. Like, I kind of knew it was gonna happen.
Mm-hmm. It is, that's the original story, basically. The ending is very similar. Everything in between is kind of obviously just like Urasawa original almost, but,
Yeah.
How else would you end it, Would you actually, I think doing a different ending without like the anti-war sort of message would have been a bit insulting to Tezuka, I guess. So you have to make the overall message still the same sort of thing.
Naoki Urasawa's his work is dark, but he's not like an edgelord,
No,
it was an ending that made sense.
I would say is disturbing the right word? Like, it makes you on edge, but it's not
thrilling. It's a thriller.
Yeah, it's disturbingly. It can be disturbing and it's thrilling. Yeah.
Yeah, like a great example of that is like when like Kazik is trying to figure out what happened to the memories that he lost, and like we slowly come to realize that he killed that guy because he had a son, and his son was killed by him, and he was so angry that he was actually capable as a robot of killing someone. And it's kind of I like the moment that he has with like Adolf and their dynamic.
Even like the kid or like having the wife, they all have to like keep it a secret, and it's like some shameful thing. It's so similar to those kind of like radical groups that pop up, or popping up even these days.
Yeah, they still do be doing.
Well, the idea, something else I wanted to talk about, I guess, before, is the whole like topic of like robot discrimination almost. And it's sort of like, well, if you make the robots so similar to humans that most people can't even tell, how do you still have the whole discrimination storyline? Because but then you think, well, a lot of people hate people who are human already, and they still hate them anyways, right? So I'm like, it's hard to like really create a story about robots like that, because any kind of like robot you make, it's like, but they are really human. It's like, well, that's just fiction. Robots don't exist in real life. So you made them human-like to make the discrimination sort of like, make it like irrational. Obviously, it was like, you can't hate robots because they're so similar to humans. Well, you wrote them that way, right?
Yeah.
But I think Pluto does its mostly okay job with it. They are kind of robots are kind of weird. They have some like shared consciousness when they die. Sometimes they have some like sort of weird stuff going on, but they're still mostly human.
It's kind of like the interwebs.
Yeah, I wish they kind of leaned into that more. I wish they actually made the robots way weirder, or maybe even not even
it's more like a fungus system, more like a giant mushroom kind of thing.
Yeah, they have some like shared wired. That stuff was interesting. I think he should have leaned into that a little bit more to make them more alien-like and not just like imitations of humans completely. But then I think that would have made the discrimination story maybe make more impact. But then again, everyone who's discriminated against are human in the real world too. So what are you gonna do? This is sort of the problem of discrimination in itself. So that was my take. It's why it's hard to do robot like stories like this, AI stories or cyborg stories. It's like, are they really human or not? And it's kind of same sort of things. You have to just take it as fiction, and it's like, what can we learn as a human from it? You know?
Yeah, that's kind of exactly why I really don't like robots as a civil rights allegory, because there's always these like questions when robots are involved, like what is consciousness in the context of a robot, and those questions don't exist for like real life minorities, and it just makes things kind of weird. But like you said, I think Naoki Urasawa does
reflecting on yourself, like what can you learn from it, rather than what can we, rather than relating it exactly. Yeah, again, Urasawa's not supposed to be super philosophical, deep writer or something. It's supposed to be very like gripping, entertaining, thrilling, meaningful, but not like some obscure like freaking serial experiments lane or something. It's no Evangelion.
It's not like
Well, it's supposed to be accessible and
to kind of wrap up. Or what were you gonna say, Salt?
Well, maybe if there's robots with consciousness in the future, maybe this will age like fine wine.
Yeah.
In the event that our ChatGPT overlords are watching this.
I also hope. Anyway. I want to say, I also hope they really do a 20th Century Boys adaptation, because that was like one of my favorite manga ever. That's like the biggest experience I had in manga. It even has a theme song. He even wrote like an acoustic theme song. This plays into the story, the plot of the story. It's so like, it's so good. Oh, and so I hope they do it someday.
Well, to kind of wrap up, Dr. Tenma is the only character that is voiced by both Keith David and Nicolas Cage. So that's an achievement right there. But
Nicolas
other than
Cage.
Yeah, he was Nicolas Cage in the Western movie.
That is insane.
Yeah. So, but Pluto. What's your overall rating? I have it at a 9.
Yeah.
I'm going to give it a 9 too. For me personally, it is phenomenal, but there is like just weird animation bits that kind of just take you out of the experience, honestly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I wonder if the average Netflix watcher will notice. Like, I can imagine this being a show you can recommend to like your uncle or something, and so, and still like be not too much of a weeb about it.
Honestly, I feel like you could recommend anybody a Naoki Urasawa anime to any
absolutely.
like normie.
That's why it's like, why there's only 2 of them. It's like, where are they? They could be really
no. Actually, there's 3, but you said like nobody watches Monster, which is like half true.
No, that was it, right?
Nobody watches Master Keaton. That's one that nobody even knows got adapted.
Ooh.
I didn't know that existed. I'm sorry.
Yeah. I watched a couple episodes of it. It's pretty good, but it was made before Monster, and nobody, which it got a lot of episodes, but nobody ever watched that one. I might.
Okay, but that's interesting
at
though.
some point. But yeah, it's a little bit more cartoony. It's like more of like a Scooby-Doo type show rather than a psychological thriller.
You see.
Proceed.
Yeah.
So to give my like kind of like closing thought, I do like this a lot. I don't think it's as good as Monster, though.
Nothing is beating Monster. Nothing is beating Monster.
There are good characters in this series, but in Pluto, but I don't think there are any that are on the level of Dr. Kenzo Tenma and Johan and
Wolfgang Grimmer.
And Grimmer.
Great
Steiner. It's just not quite on that level. It's good, but I mean that's a tough like comparison to like come out on top of. So I'm not gonna hold it against
this is also a adaptation of fucking Astro Boy.
It's really hard. Yeah, I mean it's at this point it's like, once you've already made your masterpiece, nothing. I don't think anything else is gonna reach the same level of quality as Monster. I don't think that's anything.
I have high hopes for 20th Century Boys, but for now, Monster's the GOAT.
Honestly, I feel like the when did the manga come out again?
2003, I think. Right
okay,
after.
I'm gonna be real with you. I think Pluto would have really benefited from like early 2000s anime art style. Like, I genuinely do think that because I don't know, like now, like his art style really fits with the animation of that time. Like Monster still looks amazing to this day, honestly.
Yeah, I think a lot of the digital compositing of the Netflix, the Pluto sometimes looked a little weird. Like the foreground didn't really mesh with the background, or there was too much brightness, too much contrast, something weird with the settings they were doing. But little nitpicks I have, but that's it. I always have nitpicks.
Me and Salt gave our rating. What is Pasta Man's and Minmon's?
I'll give it.
I'll give it a 9 for sure.
Wait, what'd you give it, Minnie?
I already read it 15 years ago.
She said an 8. She said an 8.
Oh,
8 is really, really good.
No.
Contrarian.
9 would be like some of my favorite series ever, which is not really true.
Yeah, fair enough.
Yeah,
fair enough.
I can't say like my favorite anime ever is Pluto. It's sort of like, Pluto, I'm really glad they made this.
It's no Monster, but it is very, very solid. I would say it's one of his better works. Definitely better than Master Keaton. Not to say that Master Keaton's bad. Not to discourage people from watching Master Keaton. That one's also, I think, pretty underrated. But, yeah, like Naoki Urasawa is the GOAT. He's been making manga for a long time. He's still making manga and still underrepresented, and he deserves more recognition, I feel.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I guess at least among Western audiences, yeah, he deserves to be.
I don't understand why he hasn't, why the West is not, I don't know why he hasn't blown up in the West, honestly.
We need a Monster live-action adaptation. That's what we need.
Not enough action. It's not an action shonen. Why would I?
How am I supposed to watch this? There's no domain expansion.
How am I supposed to watch this? There's no Walter White falling to the desert floor all sad.
See, it is very like Breaking Bad, that kind of thing. So it's kind of funny. But animation,
I'm going to go ahead and cut the recording here.
Thank you.
Okay.